Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable. Use this Facebook ads hack to slash your cost per lead and send your ads viral. Let me show you how. All right, so this idea actually came from my account manager, Graham. He was taking one of my Q&A calls the other day and he dropped this into conversation and everyone was like, wow, you know, I'd never heard of this. It's something that we haven't done before. And to be fair, you know, it's something that we've been using for years and we did think that everyone kind of knew about it. And maybe you do, but let me explain to you what this is, right? So whenever you create an ad in the Facebook Ads Manager, you have what's called like a post ID or you know, a little kind of link that's associated with that ad, right? And what most people do is create that ad and then duplicate it and put it into all of their different ad sets or audiences. And each of those ads operate independently. So they gather their own kind of likes and comments and their own leads, and Facebook puts each of those into their own, into the algorithm. And what happens is they operate independently, right? But there's actually a way to be able to take the post ID of one single ad and show that same ad to all of the different audiences you're advertising to. It has its positives and negatives. The positives are that, you know, things go viral, okay? So if you've got, it's showing in 10 different audiences and you're spending a lot of money towards that one ad in the 10 different audiences, what happens is it just go, you know, everything collates. So you'll get way more comments, you'll get way more likes, and the virality of the ad is going to just kind of snowball over time, okay? The downside is that, you know, you've only got one ad out there kind of running, okay? So you're not gonna be able to test independently, and each audience, I guess, has, you know, might relate to ads differently. All right, so, you know, if one of your audiences to an older kind of demographic and one of your other ad sets is to a younger, okay, it's clearly not going to work because the ad appeals to a different audience. But the point I'm trying to get is that if you've got an ad that is really working and is doing really well, you can use this post ID hack to slash your cost per lead and just send your ad viral. So I'm going to hand over to Graham. He's going to show you how to do this. Again, he's a bit of a ninja at this. I hope you enjoy. It's pretty simple, actually, and why don't you give it a go?
Hey guys, welcome to the video. So yeah, it's just basically going to go through how you can use the post ID method to use one ad and show it to multiple different audiences, so you can collate all the social proof that will help your ad perform better in the auctions. So yeah, I'll just take you through it now. So I've created a quick dummy campaign, conversion campaign, very standard, as you can see there. And then this ad set is what I'm going to call the base ads. So these ads will never be turned on. This is where I create my base ads to get the post ID. So yeah, doesn't need any sort of targeting in there at all. Just basic setup of an ad set. And once that's done, we can go in and create our first ad. So I'm just going to name this one ad one. You can use your own naming convention, totally up to you. But just so you know that when you use a post ID, and you're using dynamic UTMs, it will be the ad you create in each ad set that will bring it through, not this one. So it's not vital, but yeah, anyway. So that's all good. So then let's start in creating the ad. So I've got one of our ads we've got here. Just copy and paste that over. Cool. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've got all of that done. We're just going to do it for a single image or a video, but this works for a collection as well, or a carousel, so you can do it for that too. I'm just going to copy over the text. That's all good. Add media. Let's add this one. Now you want to make sure when you're doing a post ID, you want to make sure there's all the original. You don't want to mess around with cropping it to different things. We do that on the actual ad. When you're creating the base ad, just do what you want, all original. Otherwise, it can be tricky to do. And you can choose whether or not to allow enhancements. That's up to you. Cool, so that's done, that's done. Next up, we want the headline. You can add a description in there if you want. And maybe that's disabled. You can select whatever CTA you want. And then you want to add in your website URL. So I always use UTMs in mine. Cool, done. The display link. It's I'm done a recording, so I just want to take that off. And cool, so I think, cool. So once you set your ad like this, very simple, exactly the same way you would create your ad usually. So, you know, that's fine, apart from obviously the image placements all have to be original. But once you do that, you want to publish it. I'm going to publish it now. And then it'll be in the processing stage. Then when it hits review, that's where you can go and get the ID. So I'm just going to wait. It's pretty quick. Just got to refresh it a couple of times. So it's in the processing stage now. And the next time it should be in review. Let's try now. So we're going to edit. Then you want to go to share. Then you want to go to Facebook post with comments. So I'm going to click on that. So the ID that you want is this last number here in the URL. So you want to copy and paste that and make a note of it, or just copy and paste it. So that is the ID, okay? And then next up, what you want to do is you want to go to ad sets, and then obviously you want to create a new ad set. This is going to be one you are going to run. 1 second, I'm just going to quickly just turn it off. Always turn off your base ads, because this isn't, you don't want to advertise this ad set. Cool, so we'll create a new one and conversions, continue. Nice. Never mind, I'm going to delete that one. Duplicate this one. Cool. So this is just going to create us a new ad set. So I'm going to call this audience one, and then I'm going to go and delete the ad that's in there. Yeah, so I'm going to delete the ad that's in there. So we don't want any ads in that one. Cool. And then I'm going to go and say we want we want to run 4 ad sets to 4 audiences. Cool. Now, obviously, to save time, I'm not going to set up each individual audience, but you would do that in exactly the same way as you would do normally. So each ad set would have a different audience in it, different audience targeting, and that should be fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into audience 1. This is where I'm going to create the first post ID ad. Okay. And what I usually do is I usually call this exactly the same name as the one in the base ad, just so it's easy and I know which one's which, so how there's no confusion. So I'd always match that. And then what you want to go and do now is you want to use ad setup, use existing post. Okay. Now next up, this is where you want to enter your post ID. So you can copy and paste it in there. It's the tick button. And then it brings up your ID, your actual post. So this is all good so far. That's all working. It's got your link in there that you've put in there. And then what you want to do is then you want to go and optimize the placements. So for example, this one, I'm going to just optimize. So it looks normal. So I've done that. And then you want to go to stories and absolute sites and reels. And again, you want to go to crop and you want to go vertical and make it look good for that placement as well. So you can see the placements are cart there. That's all good. Scroll down, website events. Obviously, you want to select your URL if that's not already there. And then that looks good to me. Cool. So that's as simple as it is. Now you've created that ad there, and that will be based off that post ID. Then what you can do is you want to make sure you're back in audience one. So you want to go to audience one, and now what you want to do is you want to go and duplicate this ad, and then you want to go to existing campaign, and you want to add will take out the one it's already in, which is audience one, and also take out base ads, and then press duplicate, and then they will all have been pasted into each individual thing, and you just want to amend this here, save the draft. Cool. And you want to press review and publish again. So now what's happened is that we have got 4 ads in 4 audiences or ad sets, and they're all based off one post ID. So all those 4 ads are the exact same post. So now what will happen is when you run your ads into each ad set, that one ad is going to be being shown to a lot more people rather than 4 individual ads that have individual views in each audience and individual engagements. Now there's going to be one ad going to 4 ad sets where it's going to be getting all that social proof, which basically means to Facebook that if you're getting more engagement, obviously Facebook prefers that ad because they want people to be taking action on the timeline rather than ignoring or reporting or things like that. A couple of caveats to this is you want to be careful. You want to firstly make sure that your ad gets approved. Because obviously if your ad gets disapproved, and you've already got all of these post IDs up, then that means they all go down. So that's one thing that you want to bear in mind and make sure that doesn't happen. You want it to be approved first, then start creating the post IDs. And that's basically how you do it, and that's how you can build social proof on your ads. It's quite a simple way of doing it, and it's worked very well for us, and this is how we always run our ads these days, as long as it's not in a not dodgy, but in a niche that's a little bit, shall we say, Facebook's not a fan of. But if it's pretty low key, kind of high niche, then this is how we would always run our ads. So yeah, guys, I hope that helped. And if you have any questions, please let us know below. But it certainly does help with the social proof and comments and likes. And yeah, it just helps with your performance, your ads performance. Okay, cheers, guys. Nice one. See you in the next one.
I hope you enjoyed this video today. The post ID hack really has worked for us very well in the past and continues to do so. So if you like this video, please give us a like so we know how to create more videos like this. If you've got any questions about the post ID hack and you need help from Graham, comment below, and please subscribe so we know, so you'll be the first to know whenever some new content comes out from us. All right. And lastly, we've got a case study. And we call it a case study, game plan, whatever it is. We're showing people how to move from, retainer-based stuff to performance-based marketing without any ad spend. Okay, this is particularly good for people that have already got clients that want to transition them and get them better quality leads and basically grow your agency in a performance-based way. It's really good stuff. It's changed a lot of people's lives as far as how they're running their agency, and I think you're going to love it. So it's free. Click below, you'll find it somewhere. Speak soon.